Yeah, I wanted to talk with you. You kind of want to talk with me too, and just kind of see about where you're checking in from after Manifest. And then you literally saw how I use it with my clients. You came in third shot a wedding with me this weekend, which was different, but also really cool just to see kind of how that process kind of comes together. But yeah, tell me a little bit about what you think about that whole process. What was it like? Because I know it's not you know you're newer to weddings.
Yeah, yeah. Like, so this was my first year doing weddings, like actual, just nothing but like weddings. Prior to that was like I did some portrait stuff, and then I did a wedding like in the middle of last year, and I was like, okay, this wasn't that bad, but I really haven't seen all the wedding stuff, so I'm probably just jumping the gun here and just kind of like went headfirst into it.
Yeah.
That said, though, yeah. So even though I've done weddings on my own and I've done a lot of second work, and things like that, it's always nice to take like the back seat and observe while you're still trying to, it's like learning, and it was literally like on job training, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I've taken all this stuff from Roy. Now let me see the man in action and see how he actually does like an entire wedding day. Um, and like, no joke, I'm gonna swear, I don't care, smoothest fucking thing I've ever
Fine.
seen. Like y'all don't even understand until you've had like 3 photographers at a wedding, just smooth the day goes. I don't think I
Yeah.
have a package doesn't have 3 photographers. No, I'm just kidding. Um, but no, so literally watching how he handles the couple he's working with, how he handles like working with the venue people that are there. I don't remember her name off the top of my head. But she was
Jennifer.
super sweet. She was, yeah, Jennifer. She was super sweet. She was great to work with, no problems even there to even like try to navigate around. It just was smooth. Um, Being able to see and take time and be like, okay, we're going here next. We're here. We had enough time to look around and actually got to see Roy go through like the creative process of, okay, we have these locations to work with, and that one's asked if someone ain't gonna work, this one's probably gonna be the one, and just kind of go through everything and figure out, okay, this is why he's picking these, and either it's due to time or the lighting was just garbage or whatever it was. It was just nice to see that almost like, I, I don't know how to say it better. It's like, how you see these people are like, hey, here's my 10 hours behind the scene coverage of this camera doing this the whole time and try to learn some shit. It wasn't like that.
Yeah.
So
No.
it was very, very impressive to watch. And like I said, to see the way you do your work flowing, um, from everything from the start of the day, even before then, really, because I got there like on a Friday. So technically I got to see how you got ready to go to the wedding, to go do the wedding and everything like that too. So
That
it
to be honest
was,
is a shit show. I'll admit that.
I mean, I wasn't going to say it like that. It was on a
Yeah,
strong
no, it's a
tone.
shit show. It's okay.
If you ever want to know where
Uh,
to get a gallon of Red Bull, just ask Roy.
yeah, well, listen, everyone who drinks Red Bulls gets awards. That's the rules. Ben Adams can confirm. If you're just catching in, I can see Courtney says she doesn't know what's going on here. Yeah, so with Zoom, it's really hard to kind of jump in on these correctly because the live doesn't actually start until we've been talking for a few minutes. But Thaddeus went through my course manifest and then also went and hung out with me this weekend and shot a wedding and kind of got to see what actually was brought in, like how I actually bring my workflows that we talk about with the clients and all the different things that I kind of bring in and how that kind of translates to an actual wedding day. And really kind of see where that actually flows through. And I'm assuming, or at least I'm hoping, right, that the connection with that couple, even though I'll be honest with you, this is one of those couples where even though I tried to have a lot more connection with them, I only talked to them like twice before we got to the wedding.
And it was still smooth. Like,
Yeah.
I've worked for some photographers who were like, oh, we just met this week. It was like, oh, I hope you know
Yeah,
something
I've
about them.
actually gotten to the point where like if I shoot as a second even and I come in, it's like the same thing. Like we're just immediately, okay, what can I do for you? What's more important for you? What's like, where can we go from here next? Anyway, so we're just kind of going through kind of the feedback of what this was like and how you can see what's inside of Manifest getting pulled into my wedding workflow. Because it is all like everything is built in layers, so it's you don't get anything that's not related to weddings inside of Manifest, really.
No,
Maybe some mindset stuff on the far end, but it does kind of come into play on an actual wedding day.
I would 100% agree.
Yeah. So so we were kind of talking about your takeaways. The smoothness is obviously one of them. We love that. How did you see, like with portraits, how did we kind of run through that? Like, do you feel like that was different from other photographers, or if that was like right on the T or what?
I would say it's probably, I wouldn't say it's right on T. I would say it's what I expected from you. Um,
Mm.
if that makes any
Whether
sense.
that's good or bad, who knows?
No, it's good. No, it's good. It's good because so when you go through manifest, right, you see how like I don't know, it's not like schematically done, but it's like schematically ordered. It's like boom, 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 in a line. This. If you don't believe me, go look at the man's post. I don't remember if it's in here in this one or it was like in the manifest group Facebook post where you were like, here is like the 180,000 things I do, and you wrote them down step by step. Like it's literally like that.
Yeah, the workflow. I think the direct workflow is in the course itself, where it's like literally step by step. Like I literally wrote out, put card in card slot, take photos from card slot, put them here. It's like if you can't figure it out from that point, this is on you at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it goes as far as I can possibly take it without telling you how to say hi to a couple, and I think I might even do that.
You probably do. But so yeah, so like
Yeah.
the day went that smooth because it was like that. Like photos with the family were that smooth because it was like that. Like we had the list. Here's everything they want, and it was boom, 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 boom. Get in here, do that. Get in here, do that. I think we got between the two of us knocking them out. I mean, you did most of them before I got over there after doing something else. I mean, family
We
photos.
were taking pictures with the ring and the vows.
Yeah, like family photos. Even though it was a smaller wedding, I think they had like 50 people. Still, they had a pretty large bunch of family there to take pictures with. Was like maybe 25, 30 minutes at most. I mean, it usually takes like an hour, 45 minutes to get like everybody done. And it was just quick.
I don't think
like,
I've
boom,
ever
boom,
taken
boom.
an hour for that. It's always been just like, hey, can we get this as quickly as we can? You know, who's important to you? How can I get them in a photo? What's the order? And then, you know, either I'm yelling them out or Tyler's yelling them out or my third's yelling them out, just so they're done quickly and easily. Because honestly, most of my couples are not crazy family oriented. They do love their families. It's not like they don't love them. They do want that photo, but it's not the whole day. This is like your let's make everyone happy photo.
Right.
And then still makes it the album most of the time.
It's the mantle shelf 5x7s.
Yeah, it's the grandma photo, honestly. Yeah. It's the, you know, hey, here's your photo, here's everyone, here's how we looked exactly. And then my couples are more about let's take the creative moments, let's do some memorable things.
Memorable, like setting up a 45-minute shot for a draft, memorable, really?
Listen, we had some free time and I wanted to test lighting. So yeah, during the wedding, actually so the bride and groom, like, because I had 3 photographers, when I get 3 photographers in a room and I know they're all competent, I'm going to use them. Like I have 3 photographers. And so, you know, during the ceremony, I had Stalon, who's also in the group. He was running back and he was doing details. And you and I were shooting the ceremony because you had the long lens. He uses a 70 to 180 from Tamron.
It is.
So, you know, you and I shot the quick 30-minute ceremony while Stalon was shooting the details and making sure, like, not only did we get the details, but because the bride told me that she spent so much time and so much effort on creating those details and creating that back, the back of the, like the design for the wedding, and that little reception area. I was like, well, let's make sure we run you guys through there and take some photos of you guys with your details.
Yeah,
and try and really just bring back whatever's important to them, because it's not about, I mean, I don't even know that I took really a lot of wow shots while we were there. I think we took a couple, but they ended up being more moment based.
Yeah. I remember her saying how she paid a lot of attention to, I forget how long she said she planned those details. I think she said she picked out like the details and planned the details longer than they planned like the entire wedding.
Yeah, something well, she had like papayas and oranges and all kinds of stuff kind of on the table.
Different fruits.
It was a small Indian Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was cornucopia fruits. That's what I was looking for, the word cornucopia. But no, she had a lot of stuff up there and it was important to her. So we just, instead of me going and like, oh, what's the most creative shot I can think of, I was like, all right, well, what's actually going to make the most emotional impact for them? And it's like, well, why don't we just do a little session inside their ceremony space when no one's in here, so we can get those kind of back. And it really is just it's a test. We're paying attention to what the client says, and they're just saying, like, you know what? I don't need to do everything. I don't need to shoot award level photography all the time. I need to shoot what actually matters for you first. And then if I have time, my creative stuff comes second.
That's it right there.
And if I have 3 photographers, it's way easier to get to the creative stuff.
Oh God.
So the funny thing was too, is like, we thought we actually were only gonna be there till 8:30, but the timeline actually said 11. So we had made sure we got everything done before 8:30, and then 8:30 rolled around. We were like on the dance floor for like 45 minutes. I'm like, all right, let's go plan something. Got the band to play like a private song, and then we had to test lighting. So cool. We stole a giraffe from the band. Like they had a stuffed giraffe for some reason. Yeah, Jeffrey the giraffe. And then we just kind of like low-key had a mini lighting test shoot and then brought the couple out and they had like a a second private dance, just themselves, and made sure that like everything was like perfect for them. Like, do you want to you guys want to do more photos? Do you want to just get back on the dance floor? How can I make this facilitated better for you? How do we connect you better with your guests? Who's important? Tell me the stories. And I think she thanked us, like, what was it, like right after that?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing too, is like, right, like, so by the time we did that, I want to say it was like 9:30, something like that, right? And the reception had been going on for about 2 hours already. So you know that they were already not sloshed, but like at least more relaxed, had a few drinks in them. So even if they were kind of uptight up until that point, they are
Yeah.
at this point just themselves because they got the drinks flowing. It's just them two. There is nothing to worry about. They don't even care that there's a band and like 2 photographers with all this lighting around. They're just in the moment. So it was even that much more special for them.
Yeah, it was just real. It was about, hey, how do I show this connection that these two people have? And I think that that's something interesting that you don't really think about when you're going into, like, a lot of the stuff that I knew was important to her. I only knew because I asked questions during that booking consultation. You know, I really kind of deep dove into there, which is great because, again, we really didn't talk too much. Like I said, a few emails to kind of check back in and be like, hey, how are things going? And it was just like, oh, we'll talk to you when you need you. So like we showed up on the wedding day. Hey, I'm on my way. And then that was kind of like the last of the conversations. You know, there was a timeline check-in and the booking meeting itself. And I sent over a guide to kind of tell them what's important. And then the rest of it was just me remembering what we talked about. Which is, again, only possible if you're not shooting 100+ weddings.
Right.
You know, I like to keep it at like 10 to 18. I recommend nothing more than 24. And that whole basis for that is, how the hell would I remember what's important to all these people to this level of detail? And you can see it come out in the process.
I was gonna say, it's almost like there's this course called Manifest and it has all that outlined for you. So it's literally just gold. It's almost like that.
Yeah, it's almost like that. Almost exactly. And yeah, and so let's talk about Manifest for a minute, because you are doing something different that I offered for all my past students who went through the first couple rounds. We're on round 4 now. And so you're retaking the course. Let's talk about that.
Sure. So the first time I went through it, absolutely amazing, by the way. And that's not me just talking it up because we're live and I'm talking to a friend. I'm trying to, like, you know, buy Manifest.
Yeah, he could say, he could talk shit about it and I wouldn't stop him at this point.
No, it's honest. Honest to God, it was so fucking good. And I'll tell you a couple of things that really made it good the first time. That's probably going to be even better the second time. Was there's shit to do. You're accountable for your own actions. If you don't do the shit, you're going to be so far behind by the time you hit weeks 2, 3, and 4 that you might as well not even take in Manifest, because you're not going to know what the fuck you're doing. So that part was great. You take the content, you digest it, it gives you the homework. You come back next week, revisit the homework. Great, you understand it. Awesome. On to the next thing. They all stack. They build up. They're like blocks. Okay. And I have block number 3 without block fucking number 1. So that was really fucking good. Second time now going through it, after I've learned all that shit, which is a lot and great, by the way. Like you learn the booking process. You learn how to blog. You learn what your website needs to do, how to convert it into a fucking client, you know, eating machine, all of it. And it definitely boosted up everything that I was already trying to do on my own that either I didn't know about, knew a little bit about, and it just supercharged it. Like, not even joking you, specifically the blogging fucking part. My website, now, to be completely honest, I had done the whole coaching program with Roy before Manifest came out, before I took Manifest. So he was already working with me a little bit before that. That said, when we started doing my blog stuff, I had a blog that he helped me write, which was like my top 9 blog for like my state for venues, to try to get some kind of traffic, because my website was up, but nothing going to it. Like, nobody knew me. There's no volume, no nothing. I think it was like maybe got 9 clicks a month, maybe. So yeah,
I had an address.
Kentucky is where I lived still. I was like, just biting that shit. So then we made that blog, and it started to click in volume 1 month after I made that fucking blog. And it was only like page 7, page 5, maybe something like that of Google. Like if you did a search and you were to scroll and hit next, like 5 of those pages down, in case you don't understand where I'm coming from. So after that, the first month, I got 1,000 clicks on my website. Not fucking bad, going from 9 to 1,000, right?
Yeah.
So now, fast forward after Manifest, and now we're taking round 2, which is going to get even honed in and more refined more. I have a couple of blogs that I've written. One of them, 2 days after I wrote it, hit page 1 of Google, which means you typed in my keywords and I was in the first 10 search results, like right out the fucking rip, bypassing people that have been writing blogs the same as I was for that type of venue for like 10 years, 5 years, Like I passed wedding wire. I'm ahead of them in that keyword search. Figure that one the fuck out. Like what? So, and even that said, my individual blogs, which I had as coinciding with those best 9, one of them drives like 5,000 clicks a month.
Yeah.
Volume. Like what? Because it's a popular venue that's right down the road for me. So yay me.
Yeah,
like it's sitting at just this month alone, the impressions are at almost 4,000. Like I'm looking at my Google analytics right now, and total impressions is 24,000 or 24.4 thousand with an average click rate of almost 1 and average positioning is like 31.
Yeah.
I mean, hello.
And that's something you were going through where you could even improve that even further.
Yeah.
You know, it's about refinement and processing, which is why you're going through Manifest a second time. It's not like you didn't get what you wanted out of the first time, but it's like, you know what? I could use a new recording of it. And I think that's great for past students. I mean, just like you go through something and usually you see the live version, you're like, okay, well, I can't do this again. But now it's like we have this opportunity where you can go ahead and jump in again. And I didn't even charge, like there was no charge for that. I just said, hey, do you guys want to take some extra seats in here? I think that's totally fine. And you can really see like where you missed the mark on your homework the first time and really redo it again to just hone this stuff in. Plus there's a blogging workshop we're doing.
Can't wait.
Be great.
So last night was the first week, the redo the second time around, and it was all about the website stuff. And there was even stuff there that wasn't in there the first time that we've been working on all day today. And I was like, oh shit, why didn't I, what? Okay, we need to fix this. So I put it on my website all day today. Like I'm finishing up writing a blog right now. That is, why photographers are so expensive to put at the end of my contact page to be like, hey, you should probably go read this. Because I didn't have it. So I've been working literally on that all day. Like it's not necessarily things that I don't think weren't in there the first time. It's just more refined now where it's like, oh shit, yeah, that makes sense. Why didn't I think of that the first time I took this? Like even when you take something once, you're not going to hit all of it. Like you're still going to get some things that go by you or some things you didn't catch, or some things you didn't write down in your notes. So even taking the second time around is going to, almost be like you're learning it new the first time around.
Yeah. And you're getting the ability to kind of like collaborate with new photographers who are learning new things. There's new and mixed with the old. And what's really great about that is like, as a new photographer coming in, you're not on your own. Like, it's not just me that's helping you out now. Now someone who's went through it can just be like, hey, this is kind of what's going on. And then you can literally say like, oh, well, I learned this from Roy, or I learned this, by, trial and error or something. And yeah, there's always new options for you to kind of go back and just like refine and rework and continuously get more educated. And I think that's something that stands out at the very least for the course itself, besides the fact that it's really mostly for the live version, it's just small group coaching. There is it's not 70 photographers in one room. It's 8, maybe 10 on like a really, really busy week. If we have a bunch of, a bunch of reschedules or something like that, but typically it's about 8 photographers. With space in between to do your homework. I think that was something that wasn't in your round. You did the first round and we did 1 session every week, which is intense for you and intense for me.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it and what the homework actually entails, right? So I remember specifically from the first time around, it was like, hey, write up like 50 things on why they should, hire you to be their photographer. I was like, oh fuck, I got like 3.
Yeah, but now you can go through and be like, oh wait, I do this and I do this, and I know I understand this works.
So and then other things too it was like you got it done like in a week, and it was like, man, I was so busy. It was like I barely got it done before the next thing. But now that there's, like you said, there's time to breathe in between, so it's like you have time to concentrate more and be like, yeah, okay, this.
Time to perfect and refine is really what we want to make sure you have time to do, because otherwise it is overwhelming. It's a lot of information. It's a 3-hour class every other week. So if I do this every week, it's okay, we learned 3 hours worth of information there. And if you've been on one of my lives, I give a lot of information very quickly.
Full send.
Yeah, always full send, never skipping anything. And I think that extra time and that refinement can, like, you'll find questions, and now you can ask questions in the group. And if you we have something called help desk inside of Manifest, where like if you literally post in like, hey, I need help with this, either I'm going to send you a direct video response in your messenger, or I'm going to go ahead and just record a new part of the course and add it in, because your question might be something I've never heard before, nobody asked me before. And it's always about this constant, how do I get this better? How do we make this better?
Right.
What else? I mean, so were there any benefits that you saw kind of like going through the course, not just the first time, but even now, in your like personal life versus like just business alone?
Definitely a better mindset, that's for sure. I would
Which is
say
not anything small. That's nothing
no.
small.
So mindset, definitely yes, 100%. I've definitely learned to not really delegate things out because I don't delegate anything out. It still lands just on me, but better, the word I'm looking for, better like overall being able to control all that chaos. Let's put it that way. Being able to control the chaos a lot better and be like, okay, I can do this today. I can do that today. I don't have to get this done today. I can touch it a little bit, finish it tomorrow. It's fine. It doesn't have to be. I like honestly that one blog post that I wrote and there was on page within 2 days was on page one. I literally wrote it that day because it was done and it wasn't perfect and it fucking landed page one. And I was like, okay, fuck you, everything I've ever believed in being perfect. Like, I just have that stupid Marine Corps mentality in my head where it's like, get the fucking shit done now. And it's perfect the first time every time. And it's like, I don't have to do that anymore. I just proved to myself it doesn't have to be perfect. I got it done and I'm on fucking page one. Excuse me. So
even a
anything,
shitty blog is better like with photos.
Yeah, it's better than no blog.
Shitty photos better than nothing.
On top of that though, like literally all of the steps that's in like the booking guide, the wedding guide, all that kind of shit. And I'll tell you this because this actually happened. So when we had gone through that and I forget which week it was the original time. I think it might have been week 2. It's either week 2 or week 3, you get the booking guide and you go over the booking guide.
Week 2, we start it, and then session 3 is where we actually go through the full consultation process after you've edited it.
So when we did that the first time, I had just gotten an engagement session, and that was the first time that they were going to see this thing. I went through the whole thing, made it all me, all that good shit, looked great. I even rewatched the recording just to be sure beforehand. I was like going in with like, it needs to be like this. Let's do it. And when I did that whole thing for just the engagement session, oh, I'm sorry. No, this was to try to get the wedding, and they came back afterwards and said they just wanted to do engagement because they got Uncle Bob out of the wedding, which was whatever. So
sure.
Either way,
happens.
They gave me a review afterwards saying how professional that entire presentation was with the booking guide. And it literally like they showed how much I bleed passion into it. And they were like, wow, this guy really knows his shit, had a hell of a fucking presentation about it. Like they were just had their socks blown off. And like, I don't care if they didn't book me at that point. I was like, that's a fucking win.
Yeah, huge win. I mean,
you're gonna stand out amongst everybody else with that shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just the questions you ask alone. I mean, I posted a new question today, which is you ask your couples kind of at the end of your consultation or just before you kind of go through packages, like a year after you get married, if you would have picked me as your wedding photographer, how would you know that you made the right decision? It's like most people are not asking those kind of questions when they go through the booking guide. It just doesn't come. It's not a natural thing. You're not going to learn that shit on YouTube.
No. It's actually funny because I actually added a comment into my website when I was doing website shit today about it, saying during one of the parts where I phased out, okay, here's the steps on the whole thing we go through, like the whole process. And then one of them is like when we go into what I call the meet and greet, which is like the deep dive conversation. I said, this isn't some service level Google Doc bullshit. This isn't just a questionnaire and then I'll see you on the day of the wedding. It's not that. It's so much more deeper than that. And like you said, couples don't expect that going into it. And I mean, you tell them a little bit, hey, this is how it's going to go. But when they come out of that, after you've gone that deep, wow, it sounds bad when you've gone that deep with them, into trying to figure out what it is they actually want, they find shit that they didn't even know they wanted because they had no fucking clue. They're just uneducated. And that's not a bad thing. It's just because, hey, guess what? It's the first time they're getting married. How would they know? So they don't know what's important to them yet. When you ask those important questions that really open up the room to them, and they're like, oh shit, yeah, that is fucking important. Oh crap, yep, that's important too. Fuck, that is too, damn it. Okay, great, thanks. This is the best package I had. 12 hours, you wanted it, thank you. Like, okay, here we go.
Yeah. It's kind of mind-boggling to me how many people from Manifest have actually booked like their like luxury anchor, whatever you want to call it, the biggest collection they have.
Looking at you, Alex.
Yeah, Alex, Nicole. Like, I mean, there's a few other ones that we haven't even interviewed yet, and it's just like, how are you? I mean, my first year of wedding photography, I didn't do, or even like my 6th year, I wasn't booking a ton of those like anchor collections. And seeing like people with like, oh, we're year 2, year 3, year 4, kind of immediately getting like, oh, well, now I have a couple that has no problem going with it because of the mindset changes that we put inside the course.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of people think, well, we just throw this luxury collection in and it's supposed to like scare them into buying the medium or the most popular price. No, it's the most problem solving collection you have that's meant to serve a certain person. And that's how you get that booking.
Yep.
You know, it's not for everyone and that's okay, but they can still get ideas for their own wedding from it. Sometimes I have couples create custom collections where I don't even have to go to their honeymoon thing, and I'm still getting paid just as much money. Oh, we can get an acrylic, we can get the book upgrade, we can get all this
Yeah.
stuff all done right out here, or you can do 12 hours. Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
It's really a kind of this amazing thing. Plus, I mean, even if you book your lowest package, if you've priced correctly, the way that I have it set up in the course, you're making more than enough, right?
Oh, God,
like
yeah.
you're just making money.
Yeah.
Like I'm cool with people coming in and buying my 6-hour collection at this point. Like, hey, yeah, let's come hang out for a little bit. Let's do the 6 hours. I'm getting paid $5,000 for the day, and then I'm good. I can go to dinner. I can go to the movies or do whatever afterwards. I'm fine with that. Okay with it.
When I had, before I'd started, my pricing was just all over the place because it wasn't guessing. Okay, I had taken another course, and I got it to a point where I was like, okay, this is good. And the first wedding I ever booked the year before was like $800. Now that $800 wasn't bad because I really had no overhead to pay for anything, and it was just off of a whim that I was only doing portraits. It was like $800, and they got like 4 hours or something. And I mean, it was like literally, it was a backyard wedding, nothing to worry about whatsoever, super laid back, and like their fucking reception was at Chili's. Like, come on, dude, really? So it was great. That's why I was like, oh, this ain't that bad. So when I started to go in there and figured everything else out, and everything else, I was like, okay. Then the second wedding I booked, I think was like just over $2,000, might have been just under, might have been like $1,900 or something like that. And that was for like 6 hours, no album or anything, but it was like 6 hours, and here, have a nice day. It was like pretty much like an elopement pack. And then once I implemented, as I was going through Manifest, I had been booking 2 other weddings, and they had booked my middle package, and then the next wedding booked my step up for my middle package, which is now like the popular one at that price point at that time, which was like, I think we went from 800 to 1,900 to 2,900 to 3,800 to just over $4,000, like consecutively bumping up. Like, it wasn't like, okay, I'm slowly raising my prices. It was like, no, I'm raising my prices, and people were still like, sure, yes, please, thank you. Like, you got it. You're good.
It's all about the confidence that you put, like the confidence you put forward, and like you understand that you can actually nail it.
Yep.
You can charge whatever you want.
It really is. Once you get to that point,
I know they charge $25,000. Okay, I'm not even that confident. I'll be honest. Like I do a good job. I do a damn good job, but I am not at $25,000 per wedding.
And that'll be a 7 photographer team, and
no, 3's enough. That's a lot of images. I'm good with that. And I do like that's something new we're doing this year, is where I'm just kind of experimenting. Like, okay, what does it look like to have 3 photographers out there? And I'm gonna be honest, I like it a lot.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I'm adding that to my anchor collection.
Yeah, everyone's on one camera. I can send you where I need you to be. You can, I know what lenses you've got. You go here, you go here, you're here. We're all good. Everything's covered. I can be creative all day. It's a good safety bet.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think the clients come happier. I mean, that bride, it's from Saturday, like all day, just how happy she was with us.
Yeah, I mean, she got great chickens. It was fine. It was good.
Did you say chickens? Oh, the flamingo
chickens.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? Oh, it's a joke I made. Got it. Yeah. So, do you feel like now you also have this like ability to kind of read your clients a little better as you're coming into those booking meetings and be like, okay, is this going to happen or is this not going to happen? Do I like this person or not like this person? And you have the confidence to be like, no, sorry, I don't want to shoot your
So I definitely have the confidence. That is not an issue anymore. I won't say I still don't get butterflies before a consultation or something like that happens, because if you're not getting that, you're not scared enough, and that means you don't want it bad enough. I'm sorry, that's just facts. If you could be doing this for 25 fucking years, and if you're still not getting a little bit nervous, then you don't care about it that much. So
or at the very least excited.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too, right? Like, you got to train your body to be like, okay, this isn't that I'm scared or something. This is I'm fucking excited. I'm pumped. Let's fucking go. Let's get this. And then it's so funny because I tell my wife this all the time, because I'll be like, she will see me I'm going nuts in the house. Like, before any consultation happens, before any premiere happens, anything like that. Like, I am just going through the house and I'm just like a fucking madman. I'm just focused and like just scared. Like, at the same time, like, oh, I'm going to fuck this up. I'm going to fuck that up. I'm going to fuck this up. And then as soon as I hit that damn live button on that Zoom thing and I'm waiting for the customer, it's like, nope, it's go time. It all just fucking goes away. I'm locked in. It's all there, and it's gooch. Like, I can't explain it. You get to that point from taking Manifest.
Yeah, and it's a confidence builder. It's like how do you book more? Well, you get more confident in what you're doing. How do you get more confident in what you're doing? You actually have an idea of what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. It's
through practice, honestly. I think that's such a strong thing to see with you so young and kind of into this career where you're a little bit early on. A lot of people don't have that confidence, or they don't know the booking stuff that first year in. Like, they have no idea.
No, like I think I already told you my first year doing this. I'm not going to hide numbers or anything. I made just over 15 grand my first year with weddings. That ain't half bad. It's in fact
Yeah.
what I've heard from other nightmare stories where people are like, nah, we paid in 15 grand or some, some shit like that.
My
Granted,
first wedding was free.
I pocketed some. Most of it went back into the business and paid for education and things like that, and that's completely fine as long as you're investing back into yourself. It's the best investment I fucking made this year. That's for sure. With all the education, yours and several others, but I mean, I think yours takes the cake, and I'm not just saying that just to say it. It's like the honest to God truth. It's
It was exciting to see you at a wedding because it was like, oh, okay. Not only did I teach this guy the right stuff, but like he can do this. Which I think is like as a coach is like the nerves. You're just like, okay, look at your portfolio and everything looks okay. And I can see where there's talent and there's something here. But like, unless I see you actually at the wedding, it's kind of like pushing you down, like, when you're learning how to ride a bike with your dad or whatever, like, I'm just like, all right, I hope you make it. Or at least that's what my dad did. I don't know if that's maybe standard.
So off tangent real quick. I did that to my daughter down a water slide once at a park because she didn't want to go and she had gone up and down this thing like 3 or 4 times. What's that?
With a bike?
No. Just a water slide, like like a big old water slide, right? And she gets up there. This is like her 3rd or 4th time. Now there's a line of people waiting. She's like, no, I don't want to go. And I literally put my foot in the small of her back and said, too bad. And I pushed her ass down the water slide. You know what happened? She went to the bottom screaming and then went back up for more and didn't get off the damn water slide for like 7 hours. So
yeah, that's kind of the hope with manifest. You learn or you coach, or even like in this group, when we do lives and stuff like this, like please ask questions. Like, I'm here to help you. That is my entire purpose. That is why I exist. Not only is it why I exist, is why my brand exists, is why I'm always experimenting and learning things and writing them down. And as soon as I write them down, I get them added into manifest pretty quickly, or I get them added into this group as a live. The entire reason for this group's existence is to better the photographers that I work with. And so I'm kind of looking for more people just to shove down the slide, if so to speak. Like, hey, I want you to be excited. I want you to do this again. I want you to be so confident that when you talk to the next client or couple that comes in, not only is it that you're going to get money, because like that's one part of it. The other part of it is that you can guarantee what it is that you're actually saying, because now you understand what's actually important to them.
Yep.
And just to be real, couples come in, they don't know shit. This is their first time getting married. They probably Googled some stuff. They're like, what's important? You're like, I don't know. I guess I kind of want to know what it looked like on my wedding day. Yeah. But what actually, like, what made you pick this person? What's important about the connection between you and like even your dad? Like, some people have difficult relationships with their parents. And I want to like have it so where every photographer that goes through understands how to pull that information out and then translate it back into a photo, because that's ultimately what makes your clients happy. Right. And that's that's kind of the goal for what we're doing here. We're here to make people happy. I even see in a lot of other groups, this whole thing where like we're fighting the videographer because it's more important that we get our job done. No, you both are doing the same damn thing. They're trying to make their client happy. You're trying to make their client happy. And if you come at that relationship with that attitude of like, I'm more important than you are, then all you're doing is screwing over that client.
Yep.
It's one of those things you just got to be careful with how you get into that mindset. And it was really cool seeing, again, you worked with 3 photographers, like a team. Like we worked together for years.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was butter. I'd say that's another good thing is right out the rip when you start to do manifest is that the whole writing down, what your exact client is, right? Like you're trying to figure out, okay, what's my ideal client? What's my dream client that I always want to work for? Now, when I first did that, I literally made them a mirror of pretty much me. I was like, okay, obviously I want to fucking work with me, right? Because I'm me.
Yeah.
But
You're
that
fun.
ain't it. It's not it. You're fucking wrong. All right. You are not your ideal client. You might have something in common with like your ideal client, but you are not the person you're trying to hire at all. Not even close. As soon as you figure that out, I was like, oh, so it's like this. So I'm really looking forward to doing that for a second time so I can really hone that in a little bit better this next time around, because I know I screwed that up a little bit the first time.
Well, like I told you guys, when you guys start manifest, like one of the first things we talk about is like, hey, you're going to do this homework a lot more than the one time I'm having you do it. Like, even if you're not retaking the course with us, or you're not going through like you are, you're supposed to continuously go through it. I've had several different types of ideal clients over the years. I used to want to hike and go up mountains and do all that kind of elopement stuff. And I really don't want to do that shit. I love elopements, but I don't want to hike up a mountain at like 5 a.m. and have a backpack up and be like half hanging off stuff. No, but I do want to go with clients who want to rent a private plane and land at different airports. And some of the other things that I've done, like shoots inside of zoos where you have like dolphins in the background. I think that those are like one of those things where you don't realize that there are little niches inside of the niches, right? So if you're an
Yeah.
elopement photographer, there's two different types of elopement photographers.
Oh
There's
yeah.
mountain guy, and then there's like city hall guy, and then there's also
Mountain guy.
there's like another kind of like medium point there. And even with luxury, so there's luxury like high-end Gucci weddings, right? And then you have whatever I do, which would be like laid back luxury. Like my clients are pretty laid back and about the
I like
moment,
that.
and they're about action.
Laid back luxury. That's pretty
Yeah.
much, that's it. That is your brand, sir. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
100% is.
We spend a lot of money on experiences, not on like shit.
No.
I mean, I'm wearing this is an H&M shirt right now. If that doesn't
Where's
tell
the
you something.
spaceman shirt? I need to know.
That was great. Yeah. And you saw, like, I picked that shirt specifically for that couple. And what did they say at the end of it? This was the shirt for us. It kind of made their night.
Yep.
You can't do that without really spending the time and going like, how do I best serve this client? And what's their connection to, what's their vibe? Like, what makes them them?
Mhm.
And I think that's the key to everything. Really, it's not. There's no magic numbers. There's no magic. Oh, you got to try this. And if you book it, if you say $3,900 versus $4,000, that's going to make a bit. No, it's not. Makes
no difference. If they don't like
really.
you at the end of the day, they're not going to book with you. It's simple as that.
No.
It doesn't fucking matter.
And if you don't understand them, you're just going to get a bad review.
Yeah. I think honestly, I think one of the things that I learned from you that really sunk home a lot of that stuff the most during the whole booking guide part is even at the end, if you get in the space and you tell them, it's like, listen, even if I'm not the photographer for you at the end of all of this, and you tell them, hey, I want your best interest. I'm not looking out for me. I'm looking out for you. And you show them that you're in it for them. It's like fucking wow factor to them. They're like, wait, I came here to work with you. You're telling me to go work with somebody else? Yeah. Because if we're not going to be a good fit for each other, why the fuck would I want to help you? It's not, I'm going to shut the door.
I don't want to have a shitty work day any more than they want to have a shitty wedding day.
So
it's so key.
Yeah, you got to take in their best entrance. Yeah, entrance. Wow, interests. 100%. It has to be about them.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. And there's so many little things that we've even added since, like, again, you went through round 1. We're now at round 4. There's stuff we're adding in. We got a quick lead section. We got the blogging workshop that's going to be that's going to be coming up here pretty soon. And right now I have 2 spots. That's it. I have 2 spots. We are starting tomorrow morning. If you do not get in that, that's it for the rest of this year. And I don't know when we're going to be launching it again. I wasn't even supposed to relaunch this back now, but I had 2 people that just couldn't, like, it didn't make sense. They wanted to push to later. And so now we have 2 open spots. And we can kind of see like how many changes we've made, because now I have all these other, these past students going through and learning like, oh, okay, so now this is an additional way to get leads, and this is an additional way we can book things, and this is how these are the blogs that are working really, really well right now, and these are the ones that are getting me leads this month. By the way, here's something I'd love to dispel right off the bat. SEO is not necessarily always a long game. It can be a long game. It is mostly a long game, but it doesn't mean it's going to take a long time for you to get leads in. There are certain things you can target for, you can look for, you can become competitive in, that will get you traffic and get you leads really, really quickly. Now, I'm not saying you're going to get one today or tomorrow based on how you get on there, but Thaddeus, you posted that blog, Tuesday, and it was already page 1 the next
Thursday.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and
literally I'd hit the send publish button on a Tuesday. And I believe by late Wednesday, maybe Thursday, when I happened to, I always do this because though, just like a tip that everybody probably knows is never check your own shit in a browser that knows you're on there, because it's always going to feed you your bullshit first, thinking you're there. Incognito, someone else's device, another computer, whatever it is. So I did that as I normally would do. I went in incognito mode and I'd put in my exact keywords, and I was like, fucking 10? What? And then I use, SEO Edge, and I'm looking at it the next day. It gives me a report every day at noon, and it said you were at 9. And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm at 9? Okay. And then you go through and it shows you the links of people who are above you. And I was like, I'm above Wedding Wire. I'm above like The Knot. I'm above stupid keywords that I did 2 days ago. Not stupid, just saying, like, I didn't think that was possible. I'm like, it's going to take like, a couple of months of this thing to get some traction. And it don't.
No, there's some just certain that work. And what's that blog about, by the way?
It is literally only listing 21 barn and farm wedding venues in Connecticut. That's it. That's all it's doing.
So all people who are like if you think about the term of the process, right? As we're going through, there is like if you're getting married, you're going to look for a venue first, then you might look for a photographer or a planner second. So like if you're getting in front of those venue people first, that's where you're going to get leads from fairly easily. And then there's also other things, like you got to think there's proposals, there's engagements, there is even vow renewals. Like I literally just shot a vow renewal today, and like let me tell you something, ain't nobody targeting vow renewals at all. There is nobody out there that's actively doing it. if you want to win and you want to get those really big changes for your business, you have to start understanding how this shit works and get in front of it there. Because once you post that stuff, you get it ranking. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's like the least maintenance. There's so much. It's one of those things, you put it up and you don't have to do too much maintenance to it. Like, I check my blogs every once in a while and you maybe have to make adjustments as things try and get to page one. But once you're at page one, for the most part, you're not having to like baby it all the time. It's not like a Facebook ad where it's like, oh, it worked for 3 days and all of a sudden it completely dropped off. Because let me tell you something, I've been that guy. I've been the guy that was the student that was like featured as in an ad group where like I made $137,000 off of Facebook ads. I've been that guy, and I'm going to tell you that I was doing a lot more work at that point in time than I'm doing now to my wedding business. I'm actually down to like maybe 4 or 5 hours a week with the wedding business, and we're getting more inquiries than I was years ago. And I'm in a new market for me. Like, I've only been here March, maybe.
Not even a full year yet.
And yeah, and so it's doable. It's a lot of work up front, and then later on, it's not so much work anymore. All of a sudden, now you're like, oh, well, this is cool. And now you're getting known for it. Now your clients are giving you reviews. I just had 5 people fill out my 3 people fill out my it's called a post bliss questionnaire, which we do so we can nail the album. They just filled it out. I got all my info, and I got 3 testimonials from it. Kind of sneakily inside there. Plus, they're going to send me some Google reviews, and I got an email one as well in addition to it. So it's just, all of it has to come together. You can't just learn leads. You can't just, like, I can't just teach you SEO. That's not beneficial to you. It's first of all, not the only thing I know. It's the booking, it's the client relationships, it's the taking care of things. It's the workflows and everything else working together as a cohesive system, which is why we say Manifest is not a quick leads thing. You're not going to start it today and get leads tomorrow. You're going to start it today and get leads for the next year or two. It's intense.
Yeah. I mean, what I sent you before I joined the Zoom, some random text message I got today that I didn't see because of the way I get my text messages. I think my RoboKiller blocked it for some reason. I know for a fact that probably didn't happen unless they found that blog post that put me on page one, because why would a country club reach out to you? Well, they're kind of barn and farmy in this area, and they were probably looking for that, saw my stuff, rolled in and said, hey, we saw your stuff. We're putting together our guide for our couples for the next year. We'd like to have you on there as a preferred wedding vendor. And I'm like, what? So I got to set up a call with them now and see where that goes. That was like, okay. That didn't happen without being on like some sort of like, they found me online, like not because of hey, Lad Band Studios, I wonder if it's a thing. It was, they found my blog post. So
yeah, it's not, it's you put in the work and then all of a sudden it starts being fruitful, but you have to put in the work first. Yeah. It's not just, let me just continuously post on this platform or this platform, or this platform. Even if you're going to do that stuff, there's ways to like sneak that in. Mm-hmm. But it's without that work, that upfront, like, how do I change my brand? What is it about me that stands out? How do I become more confident in the booking? How do I stand out to couples? How do I stand out to vendors? How do I connect with them and make sure that I'm actually helping them? It's a lot to do, but it's not fruitless. You know, it's the more effort you put in, the more effort you're going to get out of it. Well, I think that's most of the questions I had. Is there anything else that you want to kind of add in, or anything else that you think stood out that we didn't touch on?
No. Nope. I think we're good. If you guys don't buy Manifest, I will find you. I'm just kidding.
Apparently, if you don't buy Manifest, he's going to turn into Liam Neeson from Taken. Either way, totally fine. I won't, but Thaddeus might be on your tail. If you have some questions about this stuff, by all means, reach out. Let me know. I genuinely, I have 2 spots open. We're starting again tomorrow morning. After that, if you want to join, you can, but you're going to be missing the first week. And so, yeah, you'd end up getting a recording. You wouldn't miss it entirely, but I don't want to see that be the case. I want to see you actually get the full benefit of the crew and meet everyone you're going to be learning with. All that to say, this will be the last live we do for the next 10 days. 10 days. I am taking a 10-day vacation after Fest tomorrow. And I'll be posting a video I've already recorded live for the group next week. So you still get some content from me, but it'll be the last live one. So thanks for hanging out with me. It's been a really great year. Just seeing this kind of explode, and it's only going to get bigger. So if you're missing your opportunity now, trust me, when I have more people interested, it's going to get more expensive and more beneficial at the same time. It's what we do. We raise prices when things become more valuable. It's how I want you to run your business. It's how I'm going to run mine. All that to say, thanks for hanging out with us. See you soon. I've been me. You've been me. You. Thaddeus has been him. Today's been alive. All right. See you later.